All right, let's get right into it. Pride Nation, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions and the picks that they draft on last night. We got to talk about it because I know a lot of fans want to talk about what went on with the NFL draft. You know, this is the reason why I don't do mock drafts, is because anytime you do a mock draft, it never comes out the way that you think that it's going to happen. Last night was probably one of the most weirdest drafts I've ever seen in my life. The trades that were being made, how Texas came back up and was able to get number 2 and number 3. Maybe I guess it was a good deal for the Cardinals. I don't know. I don't know what direction the Lions were really headed into, and it just kind of, you know, when I look at the situation really, really closely, this is what I think the Lions was trying to do, because the Lions was not trying to pay Bijan Robinson a lot of money. They end up taking Jahmyr Gibbs. And the reason why I say that is because the Lions traded back. They had an opportunity to get Jalen Carter. They could have got Tyree Wilson. There was a lot of people that we thought that the Lions would probably pick. And they decided not to go into that direction. Now, they still have a lot of picks. And today is day 2 of the draft. And we're going to see what the Lions are going to do, because I believe they have 3 picks in the second round now. So they're going to have to make the most of it. Still haven't got a backup quarterback. So I'm thinking Hendon Hooker, and for me, probably Clayton Tune would be the 2 guys that I would go after. The other quarterbacks, they're okay, but I would probably take Clayton Tune or Hendon Hooker. Those are the 2 guys that I would be looking at as a backup quarterback. But let me tell you a scenario I think that played out last night in the draft. The Lions, because they did not want to pay Bijan Robinson that big-time money of being a starter in that running back. And I can understand it. I understand it, but at the same time, if you're going to take a running back, man, you take the best running back. You take the best. And this is no knock to Jahmyr Gibbs, but because the kid is explosive with the ball in his hand. Now, he's not good in pass protection. He's not good in a couple different things that he doesn't do as well on the field as a Bijan Robinson, who can do everything. So I'm thinking, like, me personally, if I'm the GM, I'm going to take the best player. And that's Bijan Robinson, that can do it all. Can block, can go out in a slot, catch the football, can catch the ball out of the backfield, can run. That is the guy that I will have my eyes on. But the Lions, I think what they were thinking is that they would be able to trade back in some kind of way. Bijan Robinson would fall to them. But no. The Atlanta Falcons pulled a checkmate last night, and they went and got Bijan Robinson. You have to go get the best players, man. If you want to be the best in the NFL, you must go get elite talent. Now, to me, this means that DeAndre Swift is probably going to be gone. They probably end up trading Swift because if you're picking a running back in the first round, definitely that running back has to play. And Jahmyr Gibbs is going to play. Now, probably David Montgomery is probably going to be the starter. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't know. I can't even say David Montgomery is going to be the starter because I don't really know. Because I don't know the details of how much Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get on his deal, especially he being picked number 12, just like Jameson Williams was picked. This crazy, man. The Lions picked 2 Alabama players at number 12 2 years in a row, and both of these guys wore the jersey number of number 1. It's crazy, but Jameson Williams will be rocking the number 1 now, and probably Jahmyr Gibbs will find another single-digit number that he probably can rock, or find another number that he can rock. But I think that's the reason why what happened last night with the Lions. I think that this, because the Lions tried to trade back because they did not want to pay Bijan Robinson a lot of money at 6. So they was probably hoping that he may fall to them at 12, but it didn't happen that way. The Falcons end up taking Bijan Robinson, and the Falcons had just drafted a running back last year, so you didn't think that they would go out. And the running back that they drafted did pretty good. I think he rushed over 1,000 yards. The guy from BYU, he rushed over 1,000 yards. But when you want an elite backfield, you go and get it. And that's where I think Detroit Lions messed up at. They decided to play their cards and give their hand out, and they thought that probably Bijan Robinson would be at 12, but it didn't happen that way. So they had to end up taking the next best thing, which is Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, definitely I would have took Zach Charbonnet as well, but they decided not to go in that direction. They wanted a guy that had that explosive speed, that can catch out of the backfield and that type of thing. So I understand why they did it. But at the same time, you just didn't think that it would pan out this type of way, man. The draft went totally left again. The draft picks and how teams were choosing and coming up and trading and things of that. That's why I never do mock drafts, and I never will do a mock draft. I know it's kind of fun for the fans to do the mocks and things of that nature, but it never happens the way that you think that it's gonna pan out. So the Lions, shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs, man. He's a new Detroit Lions running back. So you got Gibbs, who got the explosion and is a home run threat, and then you got the power back in David Montgomery. So I guess pretty much you got your thunder and lightning right there. And I think that's going to make Swift expendable now. They're probably going to try to trade Swift. I think I would trade Swift, no matter what kind of pick I could get for him. I think I would trade him maybe to Kansas City. Kansas City probably would want a guy like DeAndre Swift, because Swift is still dynamic. I never take that away from him. He's still dynamic. But his days, I think, in Detroit is pretty much numbered by them going out and getting Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round. When you draft I know some people say you don't draft a running back in the first round. I understand all that. But at the same time, if it's Bijan Robinson, I'm taking Robinson, man, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10. I'm taking Bijan Robinson all day long, all day, every day. And the Lions decided not to go into that direction, which I would have did it. I don't care. I'm taking them at 6 because I want to be the best backfield in the NFL. I want to have the best backs in the NFL. And the Lions just, they surprised everybody, man. So I know some of you guys are, mad. Some of you guys, I see it in the comment section, people said that Brad Holmes was drunk, all kind of stuff. I don't know, man. But at the same time, what I do know is that the Lions came away with Jack Campbell as well. And I pretty much said that the Lions would probably target Jack Campbell, and they end up getting him. And that's good. That's a good thing because they did need a linebacker. You just didn't think that they would take Campbell at 18. You probably thought they would probably take Cansey or somebody else, because I think Cansey got picked right after Jack Campbell. So you thought that they would have went with somebody else at the D tackle, since they decided to pass on Jalen Carter. And now you got nothing but Georgia Bulldogs. So now you got the Philadelphia Bulldogs, because you got all these Georgia Bulldogs on the Philadelphia Eagles, man. It's crazy. So now you got Jordan Davis. You got who else you got? You got Nakobe Dean. Now you got Nolan Smith, and now you also have not only that, but you also have Jalen Carter going to the Philadelphia Eagles. So that was crazy, man. I just did not see that happening, and it looks like now you have the Philadelphia Bulldogs, because you got all these Georgia Bulldogs defensively who had the best defense for the last 2 years on the Philadelphia Eagles. But Jack Campbell definitely, man, a solid linebacker for the Lions. Definitely a guy that can move around a little bit. I know some people look at his speed. Oh, he runs a 4.6, but you're not really going to see that. I mean, this guy's going to be sideline to sideline, making plays and doing his thing. I know a lot of people say you don't know whether or not he's going to start. He's going to do this. I think that Jack Campbell will start. I think if he doesn't start, if they don't go, well, I don't know. It depends on how the Lions do their defense. He may not start. I don't know. I don't know what the Lions are planning on doing, but we'll see how the Lions bring in Jack Campbell and how they work him in to the linebacking core, because he is a bigger linebacker, standing at almost 6'4", 6'5", and almost 250 pounds. This is a huge guy. And when you look at him, he's kind of more like a traditional linebacker. He's not the smaller linebacker that's kind of, that can squeeze through cracks and stuff like that. He's the bigger guy. So we're going to see how it pans out in Detroit with Jack Campbell. A lot of people probably already going to be comparing him to Chris Spielman, but we got to see, because Chris Spielman was a dog. So, man, I can't wait to see, man, what the Lions are going to do on day 2. So stay tuned. I'll be back with another video. I'm out of here. Peace.